And be ready to unmute because you're going to be the next one that goes first. Okay, let's see. The next question has to do with education, of course. There continue to be concerns about how well students are learning when they are not in the classroom. Do you think some students will be permanently behind because of the challenges of distance learning? What are your specific plans to ensure students achieve their fullest potential no matter where they are located during the school day? Thank you, Jake.
Yeah. And so first, I'd just like to start off by giving a huge thank you to our teachers, to our classified staff, and to our administrators who have been working, day and night, many of them without a vacation day between March and now. And, everyone at Woodland Joint Unified School District has really been going above and beyond to try to make sure that our distance learning experience is as successful as we can possibly make it. And that doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but we're trying. And there are some districts that I think have just been counting down the days until they're able to reopen again and not putting as much effort and energy into creating a robust distance learning platform. Now, I would say, I don't think that kids have to be permanently behind because of what's going on right now. It's challenging because we don't really have good data on what the specific learning gaps are under distance learning. But as we go through the process of reopening our schools, and hopefully as conditions allow for a return to normalcy at some point in the hopefully near future, I think it's going to be really important for us as a district to sit down after distance learning and just do a deep dive and comprehensive evaluation of what our learning outcomes were under distance learning, because that's how we're going to identify problem areas. And that identification is going to direct how we provide supportive services to make up that learning gap. But I think that we have to commit ourselves as a district that we're not going to allow kids to be permanently behind as a result of what's been happening in the world for the past, however many months it's been. I've lost track. But that's my position, and it's a challenging time. When I signed up to be a school board trustee, I never imagined that I would be stewarding a district through a global health crisis. So thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. Okay, next, Kandice, let me read the question to you. There continue to be concerns about how well students are learning when they're not in the classroom. Do you think some students will be permanently behind because of the challenges of distance learning? What are your specific plans to ensure students achieve their fullest potential, no matter where they are located during the school day? Thank you, Kandice.
Well, good question. And no, I don't think kids are going to be permanently behind. We're always hearing about the summer slide, and that is a comparison. That is an equity thing. What the summer slide typically is hate when it is, sorry about that. What summer slide is when students are not reading and are not maintaining a certain level of education, but their peers are edging ahead of them. What we have right now in the COVID situation is not everybody is advancing. So you don't have some folks that are advancing and other folks. Take my family, for example. I have a 4th grader, a 6th grader, and a 1st grader. My 6th grader is on top of her stuff. My 4th grader, she likes to have a little bit more social time, but she's making it work. My 1st grader is finding every excuse under the sun to get up and away from the computer. And that is not an isolated event. That's happening for a lot of the peers. My children are just unfortunate to have 2 teachers as parents. And so we are continuing with the summer enrichment program that we do every summer with our kids when they're not learning. Not everybody is going to have that. Some of the things that I would like to see when we do return back to in-person learning is that we see expanded opportunities, which is going to be really hard with the budget cuts that are coming up and how we have to change budgets to accommodate for COVID. But with my school district, Yolo County Office of Education, they're not hiring more teachers, they're hiring more classified staff, more para educators. I'm not sure what our budget situation is going to be with WJOSD, but I would like to see more clubs, more organizations also to focus on a different type of intelligence and not just a reading, writing, arithmetic kind of intelligence, but an automotive intelligence, a welding intelligence, some of the CTE paths that are not really focused on. Let's start channeling kids towards, you know, more, not just a narrow pipeline. Thanks for the time. I know I went a little over.
Thank you, Kandice. Okay, Trista, let me read the question for you. Make sure I'm not muted. Give me one moment here.
You're good. I can hear you.
Okay. Trista, there continue to be concerns about how well students are learning when they are not in the classroom. Do you think some students will be permanently behind because of the challenges of distance learning? What are your specific plans to ensure students achieve their fullest potential, no matter where they are located during the school day? Thank you, Trista.
Thank you for the question, Cecilia. You know, there's no doubt that these are difficult times during distance learning, and it's new to us all. And I applaud everyone for their hard work during these difficult times. I'm amazed at how well our teachers have embraced the change and have worked extremely hard to provide the best education possible under these current times. Because these are unprecedented times, it's unknown what lasting results will present themselves. And once we are able to fully and safely return to the classroom, we may be able to evaluate this. I'm hopeful that we will be able to quickly identify and work with our students in need to provide them with the resources to be able to get them back to performing at appropriate level if they are falling behind. Our district is one of the lucky ones because we've been able to provide every student with a Chromebook. I mean, that's close to 10,000 students. Our district has also made purchasing and providing hotspots a priority for families in need and those who currently do not have internet access. Our district has also increased the number of community and family engagement specialists to help with those in need and assistance during distance learning. I believe in-person learning is the best place for our students, and I hope we can return to the classroom soon. But I also think that our district has been working very hard to be able to provide the technological tools to students and teachers in order to minimize the digital divide and provide them a quality distance learning experience. So I do appreciate that from our district and all those that are involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Trista. Okay, you're going to be our next person. Let me say, though, I want to say we've had some questions from the audience, and I want to thank you all for taking time not only to tune in and to listen what the candidates have to say on certain issues, but also for submitting your questions. We really love the participation. If you have any more questions, please submit them where the Q&A section is at the bottom of your screen, not in the chat area. And again, we thank you for participating and for tuning in.